Okay, now continuing with planned communications management, but this time with the tools. We did one tool in the previous lesson, and that was communications requirements analysis. Now we're going to look at the rest of the tools. The next is communication technology. Don't forget, we're going to use technology available to us. If in the military, sometimes they have a red phone for secure communications, but it can also be face-to-face in communications technology. Don't be fooled by that. Some of your stakeholders will prefer that. A communications model ensures the messages are sent and received. These are either informal or formal and written and verbal. And so I give examples of each. Keep in mind there's noise. Noise is anything that creates a barrier to communication, and so it's going to interfere with the receiver. If you are not part of the Department of Defense and you have ever talked to a military member, this is often the case, especially in the Navy. Sync MAR for PAC, ASAP, PDQ, MOZ. What does that mean, right? So be aware of the technology, the culture, etc. The majority of face-to-face communication is what? Think about it. Is it verbal or nonverbal? The answer is nonverbal. Most communication is nonverbal. Be aware of that, about 55%. There's a term called paralingual. This is inflection, volume, tone. How we say it matters, paralingual communication. Of course, you'll always want to do active listening and provide feedback to the stakeholders. So, continuing with the COM model, there's the basic, I have an encode, I have a sender, I'm going to encode a message, transmit it, the receiver will decode it across some medium, okay? And I want to consider culture and personality when I'm doing that. But it can also get more complex than this. So the advanced model says not only is the sender encoding message and the receiver decoding it, but in response, the receiver is going to acknowledge the message and provide feedback across some medium involving, again, culture and personality on both sides. And in doing this, we want to avoid blockers, anything that interferes with communications. Okay? So, what are some COM blockers? I do it by NHL Link, and I think of the St. Louis Blues, NHL Link. I know Link really is with a K. Please, people. It's all I could do. Okay? Noisy surroundings, hostility, length of distance, language, improper encoding, negative statements, and culture or context. That is going to act as communication blockers. Being aware of that is helpful. Okay? Otherwise, it's a basic sender-receiver model. Okay? Now, in COM tools, there's the communication method, which comes in three forms: interactive, push, or pull. There's meetings, which is in about 20 of the now 49 processes in project management, now 47. And I want to use interpersonal and team skills to assess my style of communicating and identify the preferred method. So when I use interpersonal and team skills, I will be incorporating the stakeholder engagement plan that we discussed earlier. So the question remains, why do we need to know these various components of the COM model? And the answer is to effectively communicate with your team, either the direct project team or other stakeholders as required. Okay, that's all I've got for this lesson. Let's take a quick break and come back.